Hey everybody, welcome back. It's nice to see you again. Today's video is called Do Not Be Afraid to Take Up Space. Take up all the space. Take up all the space. Obviously, be socially aware. But aside from that, don't be afraid to take up the space that you want. Be rememberable, be yourself, be genuine, be comfortable in your skin, and take up that space. I watch a lot of successful and influential people on the internet who come from all different industries and backgrounds, and one thing that I noticed that a lot of them have in common, and one trait among a lot of them, is the fact that when they sit down, especially in interviews or anything, they're not afraid to go like this. They're not afraid to kind of just especially in a more relaxed setting, they're not intimidated. They don't go like this. They're not shrinking themselves. They're not out here trying to be small and composed. They are just is what it is. Because they're comfortable in themselves. They're comfortable in their values. They don't feel the need to prove themselves, or they're not scared how other people perceive them. I think something that I am trying to work on is embodying this in, my own life and my own way, is that if you have something, special or unique to offer, or even if you feel that you don't, you definitely probably do. Every single person has their own, unique traits and skills and abilities, or if you're invited somewhere, or if you have the opportunity to do something cool, go somewhere cool, and you feel nervous or imposter syndrome or all kinds of whatever, and you go there and you're I'm scared how I'm gonna look, and you're kind your hair and you're checking your nails, and we've all done it. We have all done it. I've done it. I feel sometimes I still do this. And you know what? I'm done. Kind of goes hand in hand. Don't over explain yourself. You don't need to feel bad about explaining why you're comfortable in yourself. You don't need to feel like you have to match somebody's energy and dilute yourself, which I've talked about in other videos. And that'll also make you kind of want to shrivel up and shrink yourself, especially if you can tell that your space that you're comfortable taking up or leaning back or being relaxed, if that makes somebody else kind of shrivel up or get a type of way, and then you feel, oh, now I need to do that so that they feel comfortable. It's no, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, obviously, don't be disrespectful or rude to people. Don't make people intentionally feel uncomfortable. But if somebody feels uncomfortable, if you could tell visibly somebody is feeling a type of way because of the way that you are comfortable in your own energy, then that's not your problem. Let's say it again. That's not your problem, okay? And I'm literally flailing my hands in the air because I need to get comfortable. I need to get comfortable taking up space. And it's not also just physical space where you're allowed to, this is my, space. I'm allowed to be whatever. But in not so much always physical. Sometimes it's energy space. Allow yourself to be comfortable in who you are and the way that you feel, and not feeling oh, I need to second guess every decision and every move I make. And that's another thing I'm trying to work on. This could literally be just a list of things I'm trying to work on. But another thing I'm trying to work on is stop asking people for their opinion. If you don't want their life, why do you care? I've probably made 10 videos on this, but sometimes I still feel I go through life second guessing myself, and it's so normal. It's so normal to do that. But every time that I trust myself and I take chances on myself and I put myself out there or just try something new or whatever, and if it works out, then great. I'm yes, I'm happy I did that. If it doesn't, okay, so what? So what? Life still goes on, right? I think that understanding that it's okay to take up space and knowing the reason why sometimes we feel scared too is because we want to be perceived a certain way, or we want to come across as a certain way. But when you're overthinking about how you act, look, think, feel to somebody else and how you're being perceived, you're naturally just going to be shrinking yourself or containing yourself or diluting yourself. That's just naturally what's probably going to happen, because it's going to be on your mind. You're going to look like you're, touching your hair a lot. You're checking your nails. You're looking around the room. You're just kind of out here. You're looking down. Maybe you're just hyper aware of your surroundings. Maybe you're just like adjusting yourself so much, which is inherently going to make you just like take up less space and be like inwards and small. And then in your mind, you're not going to feel good anyways, right? Like, I think if people, I'm like, yeah, I see all my flyaways. I did not fix those. So if you're like, Shiri, why are you fixing your hair during this whole video, you hypocrite? It's like, yeah, I noticed my flyaways. I kind of just like turned the camera on. But yes, take up all the space that you want, as long as you're not being disrespectful or harmful or whatever to anybody around you, and you're in your own energy, and obviously time and place and context, people. Be comfortable in your own energy. Because if you're comfortable in your own energy, not only are you going to feel more relaxed, you're going to be more clear thought out, you're going to communicate more clearly, you're going to just compose yourself better, go about your tasks, your day, your roles, your responsibilities better with a more thought out process. And not only that, but you're also going to allow the people around you, and not only allow, but invite people to be themselves too. You're going to invite people to be like, oh, it's such a breeze to be around you. They don't have to second guess themselves around you. They don't have to think, am I good enough to be around you? Am I valued enough? Am I skilled enough to be around you? That energy allows everybody to just chill. But obviously, context. Not like chillax, but like, lower that emotional guard down. I talked about this in my very first video on YouTube. It's so embarrassing. I'm going to keep it up though. In my very first video that is on my channel, I've actually made a lot of videos on YouTube, but since I re-uploaded consistently back in June or whatever that was, I said, when you're comfortable enough to be yourself, you can allow others to feel comfortable enough to be themselves. And usually when there's a lot of discomfort in a room or an energy or amongst a group of people, it takes that one person to kind of like lighten that energy and take off that heaviness and lighten the load and crack a joke, and then everybody can kind of like relax and be themselves. This tends to happen in, friend groups, larger groups of people, maybe networking or social gatherings where people don't really know each other that well, and there's one or two people who connect everybody. But when you're already automatically comfortable in yourself, when you're that person who just decides, like, I'm just gonna be so comfortable with myself that no matter where I am and who I'm around, I'm just gonna allow everybody that space to feel themselves and not have that guard up or that tension or whatever, then everybody will just end up, feeling a lot better. If we're all just actively conscious and aware, like, let me try to be that person. Let me try to be that one who breaks the ice, who tries to make, who tries to be comfortable everywhere so that everybody can feel comfortable. Then we're all just going to be a lot more comfortable. Because it can be hard to be in your early 20s navigating life and different experiences and being in different rooms and putting yourself in different scenarios and like being in different opportunities and like this and that, social interactions, meeting people, this, that, the next, the third, and we're all like, what's everybody thinking about me? I don't want to be judged. Like, I wonder how I'm being perceived right now. But like, to be that person that goes, I think you're cool. Like, I think I'm cool. I think you're cool. I think whatever, someone makes a joke, like, and you find it funny, don't be like, maybe I shouldn't laugh. The room is quiet right now. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, if in context, it's fine to laugh, go laugh. Who cares, right? Like, you're not in like unless you're in an auditorium and you're like at a corporate event or this and that, and someone's speaking and then there's like social constructs, but if you're in like a group of people and it's like giving awkward vibes and somebody makes a joke and it didn't land, or if you find it funny, something, just like, you can ease tension with a little joke, a smile, diverting, attention to a different conversation, or like redirecting the conversation, maybe adding input, maybe whatever it is. Like, that heaviness doesn't have to be there if we're all just comfortable enough with ourselves. I think that is it for today. Um, I think it's very fitting that I'm in the like little pajama outfit here talking about being comfortable with yourself, because I'm not in my glasses. I'm not in like a turtleneck. I am just being chill right now. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this resonated, and I hope you enjoyed the like more chill energy today. I definitely will see you again soon, and please leave a like, comment, subscribe. It means the absolute world to me. And also, I should have said this in the beginning. I love you so much. Thank you so much for, I think we're at 120 subscribers. I did not think that was possible, or I mean, I didn't see it coming for a while, so I really appreciate it, and I'm very excited for this journey. And yes, so have a great rest of your day. Love you.